Good morning, everybody. It's time for more Guild Wars 2 dailies and action. Wow, riveting. I have a killer sinus headache today. It's super fun. So, let's see how that goes for us today. Get these chests out of the way and we'll go from there. There's a minor update this morning from Ruby on the forums. They are going to be updating the guild team scheduling so it doesn't fall on holidays, I guess, is what they're trying to avoid. That applies to is when you select your guild for Guild Wars for World versus World, the rotation of which you can select one. So right now, we are locked in for the next 15 days. So they updated that. Oh man, we got a good selection of unidentified going there. That's awesome. Bram. Silly man. Woke up to a nice frosty morning this morning. I don't know how many times I can say morning in this sentence, statement, whatever. But hasn't been raining up here, which is wow. Look at that. How much is that going for these days? Oh, well, it's more than an ecto, so we're gonna list it. This is a pretty revealing chest piece. Booty. Look at that. I got a couple gold waiting for us. Good morning. Yes, I primarily play Norns. I just realized that's pretty much a sphincter we are opening up in the chest to get stuff out of it. That's gross. I really don't like this this expansion. It's just gross. So yeah. Man, a lot of rares today. Not a lot of ectos, but a lot of rares. There's one. There we go. Excuse me. All right, time for the beehive. Get our bees knees done. We got honey with us here today. Looks like Beavis is in the middle one. So activate our rewinder. Talk to Beavis. Talk to Combs. Go back up. Talk to Honey. All right. I hope you like his outfit. Good timing there. Yep. I especially enjoy the Guild Wars 2 cap on the char. I find that to be very enjoyable. I wish they sold that cap in real life. I would wear that every day. Let's see how we're looking with this. All right, there we go. Well, our chests are done, so let's get our dailies done. I'm gonna hop on to our. Or do we want to do Mechanist Day? We haven't done Mechanist in a while. Now let's stick with the Revenant. Eye of the North is as crowded as always. Let's see what we got today. We got Ruin, Sentry, Guards, Defense Event. Not a bad one. We have 13 hours left remaining in our weeklies. I should finish some of these just so I can just plow through the rest of this. Yeah, those Dragon Response missions weren't too bad. I'm sure they give better rewards as you do more of the challenges in them. Trophy bag. But for not doing them very often, I mean, I haven't done them since they came out. It was a nice little change of pace from our Guild Wars 2 World versus World action, which is one of the things I love about. Whoa, that is a queue, that and that is okay. So we are definitely Pac-Manning it up right now. We're blue. Goodness gracious. Let's hope we can still get some dailies done. See what we're dealing with here. Well, yeah. So get our gold. Look at that. We're up to 370, making good progress there. There's something else I was going to look into, but I'm just not remembering right now. All right, I'm going to switch to our World versus World gear. I'm sticking Revenant. I'm liking this Scepter Sword combo. It's not the highest damage, obviously. I mean, that's what the other build set is for. But at least a couple of the fights I've been in, I could tell that the opponent isn't really prepared for a scepter wielding Revenant. It's not something you see a lot these days. And then a Renegade at that. So, and the myriad of damage sources I could do with it is pretty intense. But it stacks barrier and just a lot of really cool abilities, and I can even target it, allies with it to beef that up. So we'll get this Ruin here. We'll head up and get that Sentry. We'll wave at our friend. They got a pretty regal look going there. I mean, that is, if there's anybody who's ever looked like a vampire, that would like a sparkly Twilight vampire, that would be that person right there. All right, we did it. Look at us. Man, so I watch some YouTubers that talk about content and stuff that's coming out, and everybody's kind of talking about how, not everybody, a lot of them are talking about how Star Wars is doomed, Skeleton Crew doomed Star Wars, which is, I mean, it's too bad. I guess I haven't watched it. I don't think I'm going to watch it, but I guess it's kind of like mixing the Goonies with Star Wars, which, okay, whatever. But I think The Acolyte is actually what killed Star Wars. That show is terrible, to say the least. And then the other big thing is that TikTok got banned today here in the United States, which I am all for. I'm not a fan of of outside influences having such profound control over social norms. So in anthropology, we study this thing called ethnocentrism, right? So ethnocentrism is the idea where you take your culture and you view another culture and you judge that other culture based on yours, right? And ethnocentrism is viewed primarily as a bad thing in the world. The the big difference between the reason I bring that up here is because in in something like TikTok, right? You have an external group, which would be foreign countries, right? So like China, Singapore, Southeast Asian countries that I know China doesn't allow the use of TikTok in their own country, even though ByteDance, which is the company that primarily owns it, is a Chinese company. So this whole idea that the Chinese culture views it as being wrong and not appropriate, but funds and endorses it here in the United States. Now, I'm not saying that China is the the should be the vanguard of what is culturally acceptable or not. However, right, if you take the basic principle of ethnocentrism, where it's like, hey, if you take your culture, judge another culture by it, and you just basically apply that to what's going on with TikTok, you should see that outside of your other country see it as problematic or see it as a weaponization of culture, right? It's not good. It should not be used. I absolutely, completely agree with that. It should, you know, the fact that there's like no YouTube, there's no, which is fundamentally what I use, right? In those countries. So why would we support this foreign entity that is using, nefarious methodology to influence cultural and social norms in the United States, right? That's what it's all about. Like it's entertainment is a part of it. However, like this is getting a little bit into the weeds, right? Everything humans do is culture, right? Culture is everything that is transmitted, shared, applied, and and given from generation to generation, or currently in the ethnographic present, as we call it, that allows like humanity to have an identity to some sort, right? Culture is the backbone of everything that humanity does. So when we look at it that way, and we look at how within human culture there are subsects of culture that are geographically locked, right? So you have regions of the world that have their own specific subsets of culture that are an aspect of human culture, right? These subsects of human culture define human culture more specifically. They are inherently competitive, right? Culture is, as much as anything else that humans do, a competitive function. It is very hard for people to have multicultural. To be multicultural, it can happen. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just difficult, right? But especially when things like governments and other aspects of culture, right? Everything humans do is culture. So politics, finance, those aren't natural sciences. Those are cultural approaches to observing natural phenomena. They are influenced by the regionally locked cultures, and from my opinion, from my perspective, regionally locked cultures should not attempt to influence each other for the purpose of gaining influence over one another. It should be up to the individuals within the culture to decide if they want to be multicultural or not. It shouldn't be the goal of the culture of its own, to influence other cultures so that they have some kind of influence or power over them, which is exactly what things like TikTok are for, right? It's not entertainment. Entertainment is a form of play, right, which humans do to spread and share culture. But when it's being done by an adversary, which inherently the Chinese are to the United States, then it's a problem. It needs to stop, right? All right, rant over on that. Got our dailies done. That was quicker than expected. Got my little anthro rant in for the day, but we'll finish up by helping to take this camp. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Just a quick little daily video today. Nothing too crazy. Here we go. Look at it. I glitched it again. Now we have a scepter cup of coffee. Oh, good times. So, hope you guys are all doing well. Be safe out there. Make good choices. We'll see you next time.